Welcome. I'm Jason. This is my man Kareem. We are Ball Knowledge Unscripted, coming to you to bring you the finest news in sports. So, and we'll talk about some different things, maybe give our opinions, and for what those are worth. So, welcome aboard. And how are you, brother?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Another week down, and just pressing forward, man.
Yeah, I feel you. That college football picture is as blurry as ever.
Oh yeah.
Not really sure what's happening with that.
Yeah.
Got some good stuff to talk about for the NFL, but the big news, LSU is parting ways with Brian Kelly.
Another one bites the dust.
And offensive coordinator Joe Sloan. So another huge buyout. These buyout numbers are
Yeah.
54 million is what I'm reading on this one.
Yep.
Or it was like $804,000 a month until 2030 something.
I go home for that.
Right.
Yeah, I go home for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been more. I think this is now the new record for coaches fired in one season during the season.
Yeah, it has to be.
But it's the buyout numbers are the ones that are.
James Franklin stayed in the number 2 spot for 2 weeks for buyout.
Yeah,
he stayed there for like 2 weeks, and Brian Kelly said, "Hold my beer."
Hold my beer. Watch this. And I did read. It was interesting because there's been a few. Now it takes a day or two after the firing, and then some articles and some stories start coming out about how it happened, how it went down. And the last one I read was that apparently I don't think they were necessarily going to fire him right away. I think they wanted him to make staff changes based on this article I'm reading. And it sounded like Brian Kelly was like, no, yeah, I'm not, you're not going to dictate who I hire and who I fire. And they were like, well, the one we can dictate
is
you, brother. So go ahead and snag your belongings.
There you go.
And turn in your card and
here's your check.
Yeah, head to the parking lot and your check's in the mail.
There you go, man.
But that's the climate now, right?
Dude, it's what, one thing that I'm learning is the days of being a mediocre coach at a top program is over.
Gone. Absolutely
you cannot
gone.
be a mediocre coach at a top program and think you're going to stay there 10 plus years.
Absolutely.
Like it's been. I mean, no shots to any coaches that's been mediocre and been at a school for 10 plus years, but they're probably not at a big time school for a reason.
No, you're Bobby Bowden and Joe Pa days. That's
over.
That's a thing of the past.
That's over. That is over. Yeah, but I have 4 reasons why Brian Kelly got fired.
I would love to hear that.
Outside of the article. Now, you said, coaches changes. I'm going to add my 4 to that. Number 1, I've said this now for 3 weeks. Kurt Signetti. You can't get past that.
No,
he's taken a bottom feeding program and turning it into a national powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
With the resources that LSU had. Indiana doesn't have the LSU resources.
You wouldn't think so.
Right? So if he can do it with less, he could do more with less. Why can't you do more with more? Right? That's number 1. Number 2, LSU don't care about $54 million.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, they don't care about $54 million. They look here. There's a standard. You're not meeting it. You got to go. All right, which one of us is going to write the check? Number 3. Do you know the last 3 coaches to win a national championship at LSU?
I do.
Nick Saban,
Les
Miles, and Ed O.
Coach O.
Okay. 3 totally different coaches.
Who I heard is looking to get back in the game.
Yeah, please don't. No, we're okay. We're good. We're good.
I'm looking to get back into college football.
But 3 different coaches, 3 different styles. because it doesn't matter to the coach because the resources and the recruits are flooding to LSU. So you have your picking. And if you can't win there, you can't win anywhere.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And they're never going to be, or have they been, short on talent. I mean, there's some big names that have went through there, played football.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, and I think LSU and LSU will continue to use those three guys. Those guys all won SEC championships and national championships within their first 4 seasons. And that may be the bar going forward there. Like you got 4 years. 4 years, or if we can tell you're not headed there.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I don't think the contracts will be as big.
Yeah, see, I think that's what's coming. Is it's gonna, or I think it's gonna be bigger upfront contracts, smaller buyouts.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Or like more. I say bigger. I mean more like bigger, more incentive-laden contracts.
Yes, exactly.
Smaller buyouts.
Yeah.
Because like right now it's a buyer's market, right? If you're a coach, there's a bunch of jobs open, right? Like if you and like right now, Lane Kiffin, right now. I mean, check. I don't think he's going to leave, nor do I think he should leave. But Florida would take him in a second. LSU would take him in a hot second. Penn State would probably take him in a hot second. Like, to be that guy right now, because he's about the only one, because that's the thing too. You look at it, like, think of the guys that have won most of the national championships in the last 15 years. There's only
crazy.
There's only like 2 of them that are still coaching.
He just said this morning on Pat McAfee that he, doesn't matter the price. Price doesn't matter. He's not going anywhere.
And he shouldn't.
So, and I agree, he shouldn't. And he totally shouldn't. But like you're right. There's plenty of job openings. And if Lane Kiffin was like, I think I could do better somewhere else. He could get a job somewhere else that has way more resources than Ole Miss. But that's the market. That's the market right now. And I think they're done circulating the older coaches.
Yeah, and that's why I say
I think
the majority of those older ones that have won. I mean, think about that. They're gone. Saban's gone. Urban Meyer's gone. Harbaugh's gone. I mean, who else has won a national title in the last 15 years, not named Kirby Smart or Dabo Swinney, that's still coaching?
That's it.
I mean, I feel like there might be one more.
Ryan Day, but he's
last year. But they were ready to fire him a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Yeah. That's
last
crazy,
November.
But my number 4 reason for Brian Kelly being fired, do you know who his last 3 defensive coordinators were before he left Notre Dame?
Before he left Notre Dame? So his defensive coordinators at Notre Dame?
Yep, the last 3.
Marcus Freeman.
Uh-huh.
Are they all head coaches?
They're all head coaches now.
Yeah. I'd have to think about that for a second.
Well, it's okay. You don't have to think too hard because I'm going to tell you. Okay. Marcus Freeman, who was in the national championship game last year, only lost by 11 to the number 1 team in the nation last year and this year. Right? Clark, how you say his last name? Clark Lee.
I forgot. I didn't know about that.
You know where he's coaching at right now?
I do not.
He's coaching at Vandy. Yeah. He has Vandy ranked 9th, the highest ranking in 88 years. And then before him, who did LSU just play Saturday? Texas A&M.
Yeah, Texas.
You know what their coach is?
Yeah.
Mike Elko.
Oh, yeah.
So Mike Elko, who used to be your defensive coordinator, came into your house with his muddy shoes on, put them up on your table, in your chair, and said, go get me a beer. So as the admin of LSU, they're looking at him like, well, that's who you had. That's what they're doing. And I know, maybe outside of Texas A&M, LSU has more money and resources than them. And they're doing way better than what you're doing. Yeah, it's time to
I've said all along, I mean, I've always thought Brian Kelly is and I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about him. My personal feelings are irrelevant, but he is an overrated football coach. And there have been a few of those over the years, and I've never understood. I mean, really, Lane Kiffin has been one of those. Like, what have you won? Matt Campbell, to me, is the current one, who always gets brought up and think, what have you won? Like, yeah, I think, Brian Kelly, I think at one point they said something like, oh, he turned Notre Dame around. Like, well, I mean, let's slow down. I mean, they're Notre Dame. Like, it wasn't like you rescued them from 3-win seasons. I mean, but I think what really turned me off to him for sure was the stuff he said when he left Notre Dame. And he's a used car salesman. And I don't know. I think you get what's coming to you eventually. And now it makes you wonder all those times, like, was Brian Kelly a good coach or did he have good coordinators?
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, he hasn't won anything. And I think he got his foot in the door for being this offensive guru, but nothing's panning to real winning. I mean, you can win. It doesn't matter if you win a game here, there, or whatever. None of that matters. If you're not winning the big game or at least competing for it, what's the point?
So my question to you is, do you think that these college football teams and their presidents and stuff, do they have unrealistic expectations?
I think some might.
Yeah.
Especially at the bigger schools. But I think when they're doing their hiring process, they need to have a realistic expectation.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, like Colorado, they weren't expecting Deion to come in and win a national championship his first year or second year, right? But maybe like year 3, we should be competing for a conference title. Year 4, competing for a conference title. Yeah. I think you should give a coach at least 4 years before they're on the hot seat.
I'm in that same.
Get their players in, that fits their schemes. Get their coaches in that fits their schemes, the whole nine. Because if you bring in, say LSU, say you bring in a Joe Blow, right? And you're like, all right, well, these are resources we giving to you. Da 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 da. And you're like, all right, year 2, we need to be at least compete for SEC championship. Okay, that's reasonable. Yeah. But if you're expecting him to come in year 1, compete for a national championship, I think that's unrealistic. I don't care where you at.
So the reason I ask that is there are currently 136 FBS teams.
Okay.
136. Mm-hmm. Since 1975. That's 50 years.
Okay.
How many different teams do you think have won a national championship out of 136? Now, that number has changed here and there, but when I looked it up, even in 1975, there were 138 Division I. They didn't have FBS then, but there were 138 teams. So the number's been roughly the same.
Yeah. Okay, so in the last 50 years?
50 years.
All right, let's see. Let me see if I can remember my national championships.
And I'm just looking like just a ballpark.
Oklahoma, Texas, USC. I'm going to say between 18 and 22.
The number is 26.
Okay.
26 out of 136 teams. That means only 19% of FBS teams have won a national championship. And if you haven't won one in 50 years or less, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's really if it's less than like 20 or 30 years. But I'm just for the sake of this conversation, if you haven't won a title since 1975, then you either have been really unlucky or you're a bottom feeder team.
Yep.
19%. 19%.
That's crazy.
That is a low number. So I wonder that all the time if some of these, which I think we talked about it a few episodes ago, about how many teams have a realistic chance of really winning, and what are you know, like this whole James Franklin thing. Well, he doesn't win big games. Okay, but y'all haven't won a title since the 80s.
Yeah.
It's not like you, and I used to feel like this as a Michigan fan when they wanted Harbaugh gone. Like, who is it that you think Michigan is? They're not Alabama. Yeah. They're not Ohio. They're not Ohio State, for that matter, realistically. So what is it you're expecting? You're expecting, like, you want them to win the Big Ten every year, and you want them to compete for a national championship every year. Well, prior to last year, 4 teams got in out of 136.
Yeah.
So I don't know what percentage that is, but it's really small.
Yeah.
It starts with a 0.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wonder, like, a lot of times, are we kind of headed that way? And now I just think going forward, you know, I agree. I always said about 3 years, but 4 years. I mean, how long are you gonna, and how much influence with NIL in place now? So that money's obviously coming from other places.
Yep.
What kind of influence does that have going forward?
Yeah.
Right? You got all these donors giving all these millions of dollars. They want to see something.
I need a return on investment.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, unfortunately, only one team is going to hoist that trophy.
Yep.
1 out of 136 teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I would say, out of the 136, if you're a coach within that 4-year span, you should at least be competing to be one of those teams to hoist it up. Especially if you're at a tier 1 school. And I don't mean tier 1 when it comes to the name. I mean tier 1 when it comes to the budget.
Yeah.
Because where these kids are going, not necessarily aren't what's fitting their play style.
Yeah.
It's what's fitting their wallet size. Right? So, like, you look at Bryce Underwood. Bryce Underwood was committed to LSU before he went to Michigan. Mm-hmm. Okay, you say, all right, well, we put Bryce Underwood at LSU. Is LSU a better team this year? Because they're more committed to the pass. Yeah. You know, Michigan is more hard-nosed, running the ball first, pass off the run. LSU is run off the pass. So would he look better at LSU? Well, we would never know because Michigan said, no, we'll give you this check. And he said, I'm staying home. Mm-hmm. Which is completely understandable. Yeah. So you have to not only find kids that fit your coaching style, but you have to also find kids that fit your program style. That's going to help you go to that next level, just like college basketball. You know what I mean? Yes, you want all the 5 stars to come in, but you got to have some veterans that can help maintain that culture and build every single year. Because if not, you're going to be on the outside looking in.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. I think it's and that's why I think in the long run, I'll be curious how the NIL really plays out. Yeah. Because I said from the beginning, and this has nothing to do with whether or not I think players should be paid. I have no problem with players getting paid whatsoever. Absolutely. At all. But, however, or with that being said, the gap between the haves and the have-nots will separate itself even more. Absolutely. Because, and as much as I love what Cignetti's doing, part of me thinks, is that going to be the new Indiana, or has he captured lightning in a bottle for a couple years? Because we've certainly seen that. And we'll find out.
Only time will tell.
He's going to be around there, so we're gonna find out. You know, if he keeps them somewhat relevant.
Yeah. Well, like I say, with him, I was watching the UCLA game this weekend. You know, they have Mendoza starting, but then they have his brother right behind him, who looked like he might be a little more mobile than Mendoza. Yeah. Than the older Mendoza, right? So you have a window where you have a quarterback for 5 years, basically, right? And that's where it starts at. Do you have an alpha at quarterback? And then you fill everything in. Do you have you don't even have to be an alpha. Do you have a guy? Because I don't think Sayin is an alpha, but he has 2 alphas on the outside.
He's got about 12 alphas on that team.
So, you know, do you have a guy right, at quarterback. That's where you have to start. And then you feel whatever your coach says, inside out, outside in, however you do it. But you got to have the coach and you got to have the quarterback. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are the perfect example, right? Bill Belichick was never considered the greatest coach of all time until he got Tom Brady. And most people didn't know about Tom Brady until he got with Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason he went in the 6th round. But you get that combo of a quarterback and coach, and they basically the same person on the sideline and on the field, you have a starting point. And that's where you have to find it at. You know, whether it's in recruiting, whether it's in the transfer portal, that's where you have to start. You have to have a guy at behind center.
For sure. Yeah, I think there's very few. And if you're loaded on the outside, if you've got the right skill players, you can have a B quarterback or even a C. Which the Buckeyes last year with Will Howard. I mean, Will Howard is, I don't even know what he's doing now.
He's injured.
Yeah, he's probably going to be selling insurance sometime here soon. But, that's a perfect example, But, yeah, it's 100% starts there. I'll be curious to see how it goes. I mean, he certainly has the right, he's headed in the right direction quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brought some players with him. And that'll be the thing going forward is, how he can recruit at a bigger school than what he's accustomed to, which with NIL, that's going to be the thing too. Like I fully expect Texas A&M to be in it every year going forward.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be hard pressed to find too many universities that don't have more, that have less. I mean, that place is, they've got financial.
They're loaded.
Yeah. I mean, they've got some things there.
Yeah, and that's why they were so frustrated with Jimbo.
Yeah.
Because they have it all there. I mean, Jimbo, year after year, was having a top 3 recruiting class, but wasn't doing anything with it.
Yeah.
So Elko, he has that program humming right now.
Yeah, they are.
And if
I thought they looked good.
Yeah, they look real good this weekend, and they keep it rolling, man. They could find themselves playing for a national championship this year.
Yeah. There were not a ton of good games on this weekend. That Indiana UCLA game obviously ended up being a rout.
Yep.
The A&M LSU game was not really close. I loved the Alabama South Carolina game. I thought that was going to be a good game. I think, I do believe the SEC this year is deeper than the Big Ten. That's just my opinion. And I say that because Oregon is the 3rd best Big Ten team.
Yes.
And
right now.
You beat Wisconsin 21-7.
Yeah. That's
kind of a team you should run over. Georgia Tech looks good too.
Yeah.
I don't see any team in the ACC stopping them. I think Miami's good, but I think Miami is a little streaky. I thought the Ole Miss Oklahoma game was a banger.
Yeah, that was a banger.
I still think Mateer is not 100%, which is unfortunate because I think had he been 100% all along, I think they'd be looking at a different situation.
Yeah, and that's why I picked Ole Miss because I felt he wasn't 100%. I think that's the game you put your lock on, right?
It was.
Yeah.
And that was only because I kind of felt like maybe he was going to be back close to 100.
Yeah.
And he had several throws in that game. There were one on a 2-point conversion where he had the guy wide open. He threw it at the ground.
Yeah.
And those are the things that, when you're injured and your release is messed up.
Yeah.
That's what you get because that's a pass he's going to hit, 98 times out of 100.
Yeah. I was looking at that Ole Miss game and I was looking at it, I was like, dang, Jason might be right because it was close going into the 3rd.
Yeah.
And then, because Oklahoma, they were, let me see, what was the score going in half? 22-9. Oklahoma scored 16 points in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Going into the 4th, they were up, 26-25.
Yeah, they're up by 1.
And then the 4th quarter, they score nothing else. That Ole Miss defense turns up, and I thought you were going to be spot on because I was like, yeah, okay, here we go. They got the lead going into the 4th, but they couldn't get anything going in that fourth quarter, and the Ole Miss got the 9 points in the fourth, and ran away with it. But it was a really good game.
Yeah, and I almost wondered too, because I thought Oklahoma going in 1 point lead going into the fourth quarter, and then there was a particular play where Mateer ran out and he ended up getting he was, I don't remember if he got the first down or not, but he kind of ran for it. It wasn't a real long one, and he kind of got rolled over going out of bounds there, and I remember thinking like, ooh, because
Yeah.
all it takes is just landing on it just the right way.
That's right.
And I don't know if it was me mentally, because in my brain, I'm like, oh man, I need them to win because I called that game. Like I said, but it just looked like he was even worse in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And, but it is what it is. I thought I still believe, like I said, if Mateer is not injured, I don't think they would have lost the game this year.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's not real life. So,
case, but another game though that I don't know how this team won it was that Vandy Missouri game.
yeah,
Missouri beat Vandy in every category: passing, rushing, turnover. Well, they were tied. Both teams had one turnover. There wasn't a stat time of possession. There wasn't a stat in this game that Missouri didn't win.
Yeah,
and Vandy still came out with the dub.
Yeah, and I still and that's why I say, like, you're not going to see it on the score sheet or on the stat sheet, but Diego Pavia, man, I mean, it wasn't necessarily that I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he led him down the field, because he only completed 10 passes the whole day.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. He's one of those guys that it almost reminds me, and I'm not saying he's Tim Tebow, but he kind of reminds me of Tim Tebow in a way. Like, if it's a little 7-yard pass that he had to scramble to get out, if it's a little 6-yard run, and he had to dive forward to get the first down, like, he is that guy.
Yeah, I can see it.
And I thought the big story was, even though I think Diego Pavia is huge for that team, I don't think he'd be great anywhere. I think he's huge for that team.
Yeah.
But that Vanderbilt defense.
Yeah.
That's who needs to be getting some love.
Yeah, I called it.
You gave up. You held Missouri to 10 points.
Yep.
And I'm willing to say, I will put a lock on this. Any defense holds the top, whoever somebody thinks the top 8 teams are in the SEC.
Yeah.
If you ever hold one of those teams to 10 points or less, that's a feather in your cap.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And what impressed me a lot about it, Missouri has the number 1 rusher in the SEC, and Vandy held him to like 90, 95 yards. 97 yards.
Yeah.
So that
and no touchdowns.
And no touchdowns. Yeah. And that was impressive to me, because I said the game would be won in the trenches, and Vandy D-line, that whole defense stepped up big time.
Yeah.
They stepped up big time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of those games where there's necessarily no rhyme or reason, because you're right. I mean, all of the team stats favor Mizzou. I mean, how many times does a team only have 13 first downs and have 265 total yards and win the game?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's, it was one of those games. Like, I enjoyed it. I watched most of that game. I thought it was really good. But those 3, I mean, of course, I watched my Wolverines put little brother to bed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was.
Walk up out of there with 200-yard rushers, man. That's big time.
Bruh. And that's what I say. As long as Underwood continues to get a little better, he is still an 18-year-old kid, and I think McCulley and Marsh are great, have been great receivers for him this year, but let's not act like they're, Jeremiah Smith guys. Like, so I think, it's always going to be a work in progress, but they did what they needed to do. The score's a little misleading. Michigan State got that late touchdown, which was kind of didn't matter. But I thought they looked good.
Yeah, I agree, man. Justice Haynes, man,
Yeah.
Kid's a baller. He transferred from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kid's a stud, man. 152, 2 tuds, man.
Yeah.
He looked good, man.
Yeah,
That O-line is getting better and better every week, man. So
yeah, he's looked good all season. And then the fact, just the fact that you've got Jordan Marshall as your B.
Yeah.
And then what's he do? He just comes in, ho-hum, 15 carries, 110 and a touch. Like,
there you go.
I mean, he had that big one, the big that he broke for 56. That was huge because that was like that was a big touchdown at the time.
Yeah.
So, but no, I was happy. And I think anytime, everybody wants their quarterback to throw for 3 bills and all that. But to me, in a rivalry game on the road,
yeah,
bruh,
get it how you can.
You win by 1.
There you go.
I'll take it.
Kudos.
So I was like, get in there, get a dub, try not to get in a big ass fight.
Get out of there.
And get on the bus and get home.
There you go.
So don't hang around.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. Hey, guys, if you like the content, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm Kareem. That's my man, Jason. And we bringing you all ball all the time. So what else we got, brother?
Well, I got one. It kind of intermingles college football and professional football.
Okay.
And I don't know how much you might have followed this guy, but did you hear about Nick Mangold passing away?
I did.
40, I think he was 41 years,
yeah. Very
young. So that one, I don't know, that one kind of hit me a certain way because being an Ohio guy, we're about the same age. We're from kind of the same area. They're from, he was from Kettering. I'm from Huber Heights. So those two areas are 20 minutes apart.
Yeah.
They're all suburbs of Dayton. And I thought it was really sad, even though, I mean, anybody that knows me knows that I am a Buckeye hater. But that's only when that's during the game.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't ever wish any harm to any Ohio State player or anything like that. And from everything I'd ever read about Nick, and was that he was a super good dude. He came up about the same time, or actually at the same time as AJ Hawk.
Uh-huh.
They didn't play at the same high school, but they're like AJ Hawk played for Centerville. Nick Mangold played at Alter, which is a Catholic school there in Dayton. They both went on to play for the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just a sad situation. 41 years old. I know he had kidney issues and stuff like that, but I just wanted to say our thoughts and everything are with his family and all that, because I think that's super sad. 41 years old.
That's young.
And it sounds like I will not claim to have known him because I did not know him. But from everything I'd ever heard, that he was always a super good dude.
Yeah, cool dude.
And so that's super sad. So I just wanted to mention that. Outside of that, the NFL was a banger weekend, dude. We had some big injuries.
Yeah.
We had I'm on the Colts train now. I did look at their schedule. I do have one little caveat for the Colts.
Okay.
I think the Colts would be number 1 on my power rankings.
Oh, welcome to the party.
The Colts will be number 1 on my power. That being said, their schedule that they've played so far is not awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
you beat the Dolphins. Yeah, you only beat the Broncos by 1. Now the Broncos their defense decent.
Mm-hmm.
You did beat the Titans. They're kind of assy. The Rams, but you lost to them. You did blow out the Raiders, as most people have. The Cardinals, you did beat the Chargers on the road. That's a good win. But you've gotten lucky enough to play the Titans a second time already.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not knocking. I still think they're legit.
Yeah, you got to play who's your schedule.
And you got to play who's on your schedule, and you're doing what you should be doing. There were only, a couple of those games were a little, home game against the Cardinals.
Yep.
You should win that one, which they won it, but that one should have been a little. But we're splitting hairs, right? I mean, they're doing everything well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jonathan Taylor looks.
Yeah, he's after this weekend. He's moved up to number 2 in my MVP rating. He looked real good, man.
He did
looked real good. I mean, the last 4 games, he has over 500 yards from scrimmage, man. He looks real good, man. So I have him right behind Drake May for MVP right now. Drake May's leading the league in passer rating. I mean, if you look, he's the best quarterback. He looked like the best quarterback in the league right now.
Yeah.
From what he's doing, what his team is doing. So yeah, Drake May, Jonathan Taylor. That's 1 and 2 in my MVP right now. But welcome to the coach train, man. We've been waiting for you. Had a seat waiting for you. We knew you'd be here eventually.
Yeah, they look good. We got a couple listeners that I know are going to be excited about you giving Drake May some love.
Yeah, man, Drake May, man, he looks real good, man. He looks.
That was a conversation we had over the weekend.
Okay.
My nephews come over to watch Michigan play, and we were discussing where Drake May falls on the top 10 list.
Okay.
And not like a top 10 list and a power ranking are 2 different things.
Yes.
Power ranking is where you got them on your list, like right now, today, based on what they've done, like right now. Mm-hmm. Top 10 is like you're taking everything they've done and you're ranking them based on who you think is the best.
Yes. Are we talking quarterbacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the conversation was about Drake May and whether or not he was in my top 10 or not.
Okay.
And so, of course, I mean, as every football thing I've touched this season, anytime I pick a side, that's why I really feel bad for the Colts. If they get smoked next week, who they got next week? Oh, shit. They got to play the Steelers on the road. I'm sorry, Indy. I don't know if we have any Colts fans.
Oh, my gosh.
That's my bad. But everything I've touched football-wise this year has kind of turned to shit.
Yeah.
So, of course, I said, no, I don't. Drake May, if I do, he's around 10-ish.
Okay.
I did not have him in my – I mean, if I did, I don't even remember if I went through and named my top 10, but I just started hollering out names. And I said, if he is on my list, he's 10-ish, 10, 11, maybe 12.
Okay.
Going like that. So, but I was just curious what your thoughts would be.
Oh, well, let's see. Well, obviously you have your big 4, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Burrow, Hurts, Bradford. I said Bradford. Stafford, Baker.
I'm going to tell you the one he laughed at me when I said it.
What's that?
Aaron Rodgers is still a very serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, but is he top 10?
I think he is. I mean, I think he's still. I don't know where he falls on the chart this year, but he's still one of the more accurate throwers of the football.
You know what? I would have to. I could agree with you on that.
Because
so
to me,
I'm looking at the landscape of the league. I just gave you 7. The big 4: Hurts, Baker, and Matthew Stafford. All right, you could throw Jared Goff in there. Yeah, then I could say. I mean, you could throw Justin Herbert in there.
Yep, Justin Herbert was in mine. And that's why I said I'm not.
Then you can go Aaron Rodgers, Drake May, and that'll be your 10, 11, wherever you want to put them. Yeah, I can agree with that.
That's kind of where I was at. I mean, I think the one, like, I still am a big fan, or I'm still a supporter, or I don't want to say supporter because he was a Buckeye, but I still feel like C.J. Stroud is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I thought he was in college. He certainly was his rookie year. I think there's a little more going on there than just that, but I think C.J. Stroud is going to be a good quarterback.
That's beautiful. I love that take. That was a beautiful take. And now you understand why I picked the Texans to beat the 49ers this week.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was it.
No, you're right. It wasn't C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
But he did have a good game. But it was that
He
defense. It was the defense
Yes.
that reason why I picked the Texans to play. Texans to win. But he did have a great game. Because it was in Houston, that's why I went with it, because I felt the defense would have a great game against Mac Jones. Even though Mac Jones has had a decent season, you put him up against a really good defense, you can cancel Christmas. He's not going to do too much of anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked Houston to roll that game, and they looked out for me. They kept my lead, and shout out to the Texans for that win. But what I will say, I think the NFL should start coming out with their who's playing, who's not playing on Wednesday.
I agree.
Because if I'd have known Kirk Cousins was playing,
100.
I would not have picked Atlanta to win.
Yes, I understand.
And I would have benched Bijan. I wouldn't have played Bijan. I would have played I forget who I had on my bench in place of Bijan. But I wouldn't have played Bijan. And if I would have known Tyler Huntley was playing and not Cooper Rush, I would have picked the Ravens. Because Tyler Huntley is more suitable to run that offense than Cooper Rush.
Yeah, because I was actually upset because that was one of the games we picked different.
Yes, but you picked the Ravens, right?
I did, but at the time when the game when that came out late that he was a scratch, I was like, man, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I felt the same way. I'm like, I would have taken the Bears.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad I didn't, because if we
well, if I would have known, I would have took the Ravens, because the offense is set up for Lamar and his dual threat. Tyler Huntley is a dual threat. So I would have took the Ravens. I'm thinking Cooper Rush was playing.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't go with the Ravens. But if I'd have known Huntley was playing, I would have took the Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah, which, by the way, our picks, we split the 4 games that we picked separately. We split. So there will be no ground gained this year. But real quick, just interesting thing on Aaron Rodgers, and this is why I say he's one of the most accurate throwers of the football. Right now, through 7 games, his completion percentage is 68.3.
That's a really good completion percentage.
He has only ever had where any of seasons where he played. So 2008 is when he really started, where he became the full-time starter. Mm-hmm. He's only had 3 seasons where he's been at 68.3 or better. So even at his advanced age, and he's at almost 1,500 yards through 17 games.
Yeah, that's really good.
I mean, I don't know. He's got 16 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions.
Yeah. I
mean, his rating is 104. His QBR is 52. Like, I don't know. I think he's.
Yeah,
I still think he's. I think what it is people want to lump in that 2 years with the Jets.
Yeah, and you got to disregard.
And you almost got, like, you look at Brett Favre's stats.
Yeah, you got to disregard anything
Green Bay
associated with Jets. You have to disregard
the Jets, and then Minnesota. His worst season is the one with the Jets.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But you know something that Aaron Rodgers did not do yesterday? He fell short of becoming the 5th player to beat every team.
He did. He has to wait to join Club 32.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do it. Yep. I thought he was going to join Favre, Manning, Breeze, and Brady.
Yep.
But he fell short. So he has to. I mean, and the Steelers are saying they want him to come back next year. So maybe he'll have another chance to, if they're on the schedule next year. But
well, and to me, I mean, if he can still play, which to me everything points right now that he can. I mean, you know, I would say anytime if your defense gives up 35 points, that's the reason you lost.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, 35 points that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
You know, so if your defense is giving up 7 touchdowns, that's normally the reason you lost.
I'm with you. But speaking of Rodgers and the Jets picked up their first win this weekend.
No, I didn't have that one either.
Nah, I didn't have that one. But I'm okay with it. You know, the Lions are still one of the only teams to go 0-16, and the Jets will not join them.
Oh, there's a couple. Yeah, the Buccaneers. There's 3. The Buccaneers, the Lions, and the Browns.
Okay.
Yep.
The Lions are just the most recent.
Yeah, I would say either them or the Browns. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, the Jets will not be joining them. They had a nice shootout with the Bengals. Uncle Joe put up 38.
He did.
So hey.
See, that's a perfect example right there. If you score 38 points and you don't win,
yeah,
that's a defense problem.
Yeah. Your team let you down. Your team let you down, and they were on a nice little roll. They got the win against the Steelers, and they were high. But I actually thought they would come out and beat the Jets, and start a nice little streak, but they just jumped back in the L column. Now they're 3-5. So
yeah,
I don't see any playoffs for the Bengals. Another wasted season for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But that's what happens when you put all your money into your offense and you don't do anything with your defense.
That is it.
You can only feel bad for them to a certain extent because they did it to themselves.
No, and that's an ownership issue. It always has been in Cincinnati. They're maybe next to the old ownership in Washington. It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst in the league.
Yeah. Going from one of the worst, though, to one of the best. The Patriots. Did you hear Mike Vrabel's post-game interview?
I did not.
So he goes, once Kevin Stefanski was done with his glitch plays, we knew we were going to blow them out the water. And I was like, whoa.
Oops.
Whoa. So it makes me wonder, is it the quarterback situation in Cleveland or is it the coaching situation in Cleveland?
Oh,
granted, they're the Cleveland Browns, so it's a mix of everything. Dylan Gabriel is not a starting quarterback.
No. Half the people on that offense aren't starting players.
So this week they just was catching the interceptions. Pittsburgh had like 5-6 interceptions that they should have caught.
Yeah.
But it's time to put that kid to bed, man. I mean, it's not pretty. Like that, his stat line, man. I think he averaged 7 yards a pass, if I'm not mistaken. 7 yards a pass. Him and Joe Flacco played the same amount of games, 4 games.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco still leads that team in passing. Joe Flacco's not even on the roster anymore,
right.
And he leads the team in passing. So that tells you everything you need to know about Dylan Gabriel. He went 21 for 35 for 156. That's like 7.2 yards per pass attempt.
Yeah, that's 21 of 35 for 156 is actually 4.5.
I was giving him credit. Man.
Yeah, he's
4.5. Come on.
It's not pretty there.
And it's like I said, after that first scripted drive, man, you really see what the guy is, man. And I'm an advocate for Shador. He should be the starter. I felt he should have been the starter since the beginning of the season. But I'm like, I don't even want this kid to get in any more this season. Like, do not go and save that dumpster fire, or do not go and be a part of it. Just come out next year, new coach, new regime, and start fresh. Because right now, I would not want to play for Kevin Stefanski, man.
No. Well, and have you seen the photo yet, or the video where all the Cleveland players and the coaching staff's kind of down on one end of the sideline, and Myles Garrett is sitting by himself on the other end of the bench, just completely by himself?
Yeah.
That says it all right there.
Myles' case is a little different. Myles in the offseason asked for a trade. Cleveland said, here's a bag that makes you the highest played non-quarterback. And Myles said, okay.
Yeah, but I think still, and that's where, and I don't disagree with you to an extent, but I think anybody would reach a point where it was like, man, yeah, okay, you gave me a huge bag, but like, are you going to do nothing else?
Yeah.
Like, you have nothing else that you're going to add to it?
Yeah.
You're just going to, and it's, ugh.
And this is what I understand. Like, all right, now you're there. I think they have a bye week this week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I think they have a bye week going into this week. Yeah. Yeah, they have a bye week this week. Right? And then coming out of the bye week, they play the Jets. Right? They play the Jets, the Ravens, the Raiders. That's their next 3 games after their bye week. Those are 3 winnable games. If I'm the Browns, Kevin Stefanski doesn't make it out of the bye week, I will promote the offensive coordinator to be interim head coach. Dylan Gabriel gets benched, and Shedeur Sanders comes in against the Jets. You take 2 weeks to create a game plan for him, get him used to the first team offense, and then you just run the table with him the rest of the way. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least you would know if you wasted 2 draft picks on quarterbacks that will not be in the league. Or you got your starting quarterback for basically nothing. I think they're paying him like $900,000 for the season.
Yeah.
You know, he's a 3-year. He's on a 3-year contract. I think it's for like $3 million. And you could be daggone the 49ers what they did with Brock Purdy. Now, I believe the 49ers could have did more than what they did for Brock Purdy, but you could be in that situation if you're the Browns. But I just don't think their front office is competent enough to understand how to do that.
No, I don't know. I think they might be one of the most cursed franchises. I just don't think. And I don't know what it is there because they've had talent at different times.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I don't know. It seems like every time they do, they give up, like giving up on Baker when they did.
Yep, that was too soon.
And I don't know. I mean, I still think even if you put, I think it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same mess even with Shedeur in there, just because I don't know I just don't think the whole offense is very good.
And you might be right, but one, Shedeur's going to give you more of a chance to win than Dylan is, because he's not afraid to push the ball down the field. That's one.
Yeah, he certainly should get an opportunity. Yeah,
you're going to sell tickets, right? Number 2, and then number 3, it puts a spark back in. It's like we were talking about with LSU and that changing coaches and the coordinator.
Yeah,
you put a spark back into that team because they're watching this kid play during the week, and you have players on that team saying, hey, yeah, that's the one that should be leading us onto the field. But Kevin Stefanski is like the captain from the Titanic. I'm going down with the ship, buddy.
Yeah, which is really odd to me, and I totally believe Shedeur at some point should get an opportunity. Which I read something. Did you read? Have you seen the article or whatever it was where Shedeur was gonna get to start the last 4 games of the season?
I saw that. So, the Cleveland writer, she kind of put it out there that one of her sources told her he would start the last 4 games.
Yeah.
I think it's horse crap. I don't think it should be. I think it should be the last 8. You come out the bye week and set him up because he hasn't had the opportunity. He's not getting even right now. He's not getting snaps like that. And
yeah, and I don't know why you wouldn't, just from a standpoint of if Gabriel goes down.
Yeah,
like that's when you want. What if you're in a game? What if you're in a game?
That's why they elevated Bailey Zappi to the 2 for this. Well, they say it was because Shedeur was having back pains, but dude's not even playing. How's he getting back pains?
Yeah.
He's barely getting snaps at practice. How's he getting back pains? I just think that was a way of them covering up. If Dylan sucked like he did, the fans wouldn't be put Shedeur in the game.
Which I still, for the life of me, can't figure out why. If this was your game plan, then why would you draft him?
Yeah.
Like, what was the?
I honestly, I believe it was just because he's a cash cow. He has a fan base.
Yeah, but I don't think that
they're going to fire. Well, what else could it be? Because
I don't know, but
you're not giving him the opportunity.
Yeah, but he's certainly not generating enough money from a pro level.
Well, I mean, he's leading jersey sales. I mean, him himself, he made over $10 million in jersey sales that he got. That's not what the team got.
Yeah, but I'd have to see that. I can't imagine he's anywhere close to the top.
Well, let's see.
Even on Cleveland. Like, because that just seemed one. I can't.
He's fifth. Saquon, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Shedeur Sanders.
That is hard to believe.
Top rookies, Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, out of rookies.
No, yeah. Well, he's fifth overall. He's fifth overall behind Saquon, Jaden, and Josh. And then it's Shedeur. But out of rookies, he's first behind, and then Travis, Cam Ward, and Ashton Genty.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have lost money on that. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's generating a lot of revenue, and I think that was their whole goal for getting him, for drafting him, because it's like, all right, now we're in the fifth round. We're not losing any money.
Yeah.
3 years, $3 million. That's nothing. You know, so.
But all the more reason. I mean, I guess from that standpoint, though, you would be better off to, especially on a team like Cleveland, where you have pretty much no chance of winning anything. Why wouldn't you throw that out there? All that's going to do is, if he is decent at all, that's going to make that stuff go even higher.
Yeah, it puts more money in your pocket. You would think, right? It puts more money in your pocket. But keeping him on the sideline, that keeps content creators, the media, that keeps you talking about the Browns every week.
Yeah.
You know, it's like talking about the Cowboys every week when they're irrelevant. That's what the Browns have now. They have this conversation every week. Dylan Gabriel stinks it up. We're talking about Shedeur. When is Shedeur getting in? When is Shedeur getting in? Shedeur gets dropped to QB3. Why isn't he QB1? So they keep this conversations going no matter what. And that's generating revenue for them.
Maybe it's an Ohio pro football thing.
What?
As far as like bad ownership.
Well, I mean, they did lose the Ravens. Browns became the Ravens in the middle of the night. So, you know, it's just I don't understand it. It's disturbing. It's crazy. But to keep sending Dylan Gabriel out there as your starting quarterback week in and week out, I mean, something has to give, man, because this is crazy. Yeah. Something has to give.
I'd like to tell you,
he's played 4 games, and let me see.
But I also think it's one of those situations where I think the Cleveland Browns are going to do Cleveland Browns things.
Oh, they're definitely going to do Cleveland Browns things.
I mean, that's what they do. I mean, you know, there's a reason they've had, you know, I still think the funniest jersey I've ever seen all along is back home, being in Ohio. Obviously, there's a lot of Browns fans. And this guy, and I've seen many versions of it over the years, but one of the guys used to come into the little sports bar that we would go to, and he had a Browns jersey, and it just had like three rows of names, and it was all
the quarterbacks,
people that have started. And
I seen that.
I used to like find myself like staring at it, like, oh man, I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember when Garcia was there, and
20-something years
like,
of quarterbacks.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
And they can't get it right. They cannot get it right, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous. But you know, hey, that's enough of talking about the Cleveland Browns, because
that's the end. That's the end of our bottom feeder segment.
Yeah. So let's go to the top.
Let's go to the top. Well, let's snap into the middle for a second.
Middle, okay, all right.
What about, were you unlucky enough to see that Cam Scattaboo injury?
So you're saying the Giants are in the middle, because I was saying to the top with my Eagles. So are you saying the Giants are in the middle?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Same game. We were looking at it different angles. Okay, that's fine. Yes, I did see that injury, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Yeah, that man. But what was even crazier than him, than the injury, is his reaction. Like, he was just like, dude, no, I can't stand up. ankle is in a different position. Like, whoa.
I always feel like, I mean, those, when there's a play and then another player comes over and, like, they're always like, waving, like, because that means it's bad. And then
exactly, yeah.
The view was, like, facing him, and then, like, one of the end zone cameras picked it up, and his leg, like, came up, and his foot was like, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I just saw that he had surgery, and it was good to go, successful.
Yeah, that's sad, man. That's too bad, because
I like
that's
the kid,
a guy.
man.
I do too, and that can be a big hit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was being generous when I said the middle with the Giants, but that can be a huge hit to the locker room for what they kind of had going on. I mean, they're don't get me wrong, they're what, 2-6?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they're 2-6. They're in last place. It isn't like that is going to ruin their season is what it is. They're trying to build and see if Jackson Dart can actually be the guy. Mm-hmm. And I think Cam Scatterby was part of that whole thing, just because I think they were and that stinks. But that was anyway. But what do you got on those Eagles though?
Well, pretty impressed with the win. Just like your Wolverines, my Eagles had 2 100-yard rushers. And it was a beautiful day, man. It was a complete team win.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Saquon ran for 150. Jalen had 180 passing. Spread the ball around. It was a beautiful thing, man. He had 5. Jalen, what people aren't talking about, Jalen Hurts on the season had 15 touchdowns and only 1 interception.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has another 5 or 6 rushing touchdowns. So he has 22 touchdowns and only 1 interception.
That is ball hogging activity.
If you're throwing 15 touchdowns,
the fact that he has that many rushing touchdowns, he has taken them off. He is
taking from Saquon.
He is taking food off of that man's table.
I think he's taking points out of your fantasy league, and that's
taking
problem.
Food. Well, let me tell you this: Saquon he about ran out of his groin.
Yeah,
he strained himself because he ain't ran like that all year.
That's right.
So
that's
I'm
true.
hoping that's not serious.
Yeah, I think, and then coming into the bye week, that helps us out a lot because AJ Groen's jacked up, so he gets another week. Saquon gets a week to heal on his groin, and then we come out of the bye week and we play the number 1 team in the NFC because the Packers right now they're number 1 and we're number 2. So we're coming to take the top spot, and I hope they. I'm gonna tell any Packers fans and every Packer player. I'm gonna tell you like Rico told the Cowboys, the running back from the Panthers. You better buckle up your chin strap.
Oh,
because we're coming.
Oh.
The game is at Lambeau. We're gonna take that flight, and we're gonna come punch you in the mouth.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna put you down.
Put me on a lock.
Put you down for a lock. Philly over
in 2 weeks.
Green Bay at Lambeau.
That's right.
Ooh.
That's right.
Well, I think that's an opportunity potentially. I'm not saying that's a bad pick, but that is definitely one where I will roll the dice, and I'll take the Packers in that game.
That's fine. That's fine. It's just going to extend my lead on you.
It might, or it might not.
There we go.
We'll see.
I think it's going to be a good game, man.
It'll be a hell of a game.
I was really impressed with the Eagles yesterday, man. It was a complete team win, and the defense looked really good. Now, granted, you can't really assess the Giants now. One, Scatterboo's gone, and Neighbor's been gone all year. Their base receiver is gone, right? So you really can't see what the Giants will be, more than likely until next year 3, with Jackson Dart. And I think because Jackson Dart is playing so well, Dabo's job is saved.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. But for my Eagles, that was a really impressive win. We won every phase of the game, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, there were, I don't know, it was kind of a ho-hum NFL day. I thought a lot of the games, there were Atlanta losing to Miami, but that was Kirk Cousins, no Drake London.
Yep.
I don't know. I thought it was, Buffalo beat the holy shit out of Carolina.
And I think Buffalo might have heard our podcast, man, because we told them that they have to win that game.
Yeah, that was a must-win.
They cannot let New England go up 2 games on them. And they came out, and that game was ugly. It was like 19-3 at halftime. Yeah. And then they scored 21 in the third. And then it was all she wrote. So, now granted, Panthers started Andy Dalton. And, Andy Dalton's going to do Andy Dalton things.
Well, he's a former Bengal. So.
Yeah, so he's going to do things that most...
what they used to call him, the Red Rifle or the Red Rocket?
The Red Rocket, yeah.
Red Rocket.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody hit up our Instagram and was like, yeah, the Bills are playing the Panthers with the Red Rocket. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
They didn't have a chance with Andy Dalton, and that Bills team looked determined.
Yeah, and I still, and like I said, when we talked power rankings last week, I still think the Bills are one of the top teams in the league. I think every team goes through a little lull in the season where they might drop a game or two. But the Bills, I still feel like at the end of the year, I really thought it was going to be somebody else, but I think it's probably still going to go Buffalo. Kansas City was going to be the game because Kansas City's back to looking tough. We'll find out tonight, but they're going to be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Now that they got all those receivers, and
I agree. And actually, right now, I'm up on you by I think 12 points in fantasy.
Yeah, it's close. I gotta have some action tonight.
But you have Worthy and you have Buckner. So if they can get you 13 points, you'll win tonight.
That's right.
That's right. I'm hoping that's not the case. They shut him down and. He's non-existent and just everything goes to Rice and Worthy isn't part of the offense.
Yeah.
And, I'll be okay with that. And
I don't even need Worthy to do it. I don't need him to do a ton. If he can just catch a few balls, I don't even need him to get in the end zone tonight. I need him to have
that's what I said. I just need him to be shut down. Everything go to Rice and Kelsey and we'll keep it that way.
And then Butker is just he's gonna kick about 8 field goals. And
see, that's the thing. I don't need that to happen. Because I need to maintain first place. I don't need that to happen.
I could use a win in this league really bad.
Yeah, I think you might get one today.
I really could use a win.
Yeah, I think you're going to get one today.
Because especially, I'm this close to winning, and I only got 8.6 out of Dak. I knew better than to start that trash guy, but I didn't have anybody else.
Speaking of that wonderful Cowboys game. We said, when we were picking, explosive offense versus explosive defense, trash defense versus average offense. And that average offense put up 44 points on that trash defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you justify the Micah trade when your defense giving up these kind of numbers, man?
Because that's where sometimes I think, especially for a guy like Jerry Jones, that is where your ego gets in the way of sense, right? Because that's where you're gonna die on that hill that you're not gonna do this to prove a point, and then your point is never really proven because you're really just getting your head. And this is the perfect example. Unless that offense is absolutely humming, then you're gonna win some shootouts. But that defense is so bad. I think they're bordering on historically bad. Yeah.
They're number 2 ranked offense and the number 31st ranked defense. And do you know the team that they're better than?
Defensively, I can't think of one.
Cincinnati Bengals.
I don't even know. I don't even know how that's true.
Nah. They're literally, when you look at the numbers that the Bengals and the Cowboys are giving up this year, they're almost identical.
Yeah. Wow.
They've given up. So the Cowboys have given up 3,237 yards. The Bengals have given up 3,263 yards.
Those are seasons.
That's what separates them.
That's a season.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
The best
like
defense,
a
the best
decent
defense, which is
season.
Houston. The Houston Texans has only given up 1,800 yards all season.
Wow. So half
Half.
ish.
Yeah.
That's wild. I still don't understand. I mean, I get there can be bad defenses, and I get certain players are better, blah blah blah. I get all that. But at the end of the day, we're talking about 32 professional teams.
Yep.
This league as a whole is the best of the best.
Yep.
How has it gotten so distorted that one or two teams are so much worse than everybody else? Like, what did you ask me earlier? You said something about who was it? Cleveland? Because we were talking about Myles Garrett, that they had paid all that money. Well, that's what the Cowboys have done in reverse.
Yeah.
You've paid all that money out for Dak, and I don't know what CeeDee Lamb's getting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what those deals are on, but at some point, you're going to have to shore up that defense, or Dak's not going to put 42 on the board every week.
No,
Which
not at
in
all.
this case, 42 wouldn't have worked. But
No, it's crazy, man. Like, I've never seen. Yes, I have with the Bengals. An offense so good and then a defense so bad.
yeah, very similar.
But even the Bengals defense has an excuse. They have injuries on the defensive side of the ball. The Cowboys aren't injured at all on the defensive side. They're just bad.
Yeah.
They're just bad. And Jerry Jones he has to wear this one, man.
Oh,
You have to wear this one. You can't can't pawn this off to anybody. This was GM Jerry Jones getting his own way.
But I think Jerry Jones to me is like, who do I want to? It's like he's like, he's more of a name.
Yeah.
Like I say all the time, like when we talk about like old school football, like Joe Namath, dude, guy's one of the most overrated. Like, guy gets a ton of love. He really didn't play that long.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that good. He's known more. He's more infamous than he is famous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's almost like Jerry Jones is riding on the coattails of some really early on success.
Yeah.
And it's a brand, right? The Cowboys are a brand.
That's what he's riding on, the brand.
And it's
the
like,
team is,
yeah, they're trash.
yeah, the team is. That's not a team. He has an offense, and that's it.
And then it's like, you're going to do things like the Micah Parsons thing. And there have been several things they've done over the years that were like, really?
Yeah.
And it's like he's going to – and it's almost like that old school mentality, and that doesn't work. If you can't change with the times, which is why teams like New England, Kansas City, you know why? Because those ownership groups, they stay out of the way.
Yeah. And that's another thing with my Eagles. It's something I was thinking about. Now, everybody know how I hate how Chip Kelly destroyed my Eagles, right? And Mr. Lurie gave Chip Kelly full reign, and he demoted Howie, right? Yeah. But he kept Howie in the building, right? When he got rid of Chip Kelly, he brought Howie back up and was like, "All right, hey, you get this is on you." And Howie took reins. And in that time frame, he's won 2 Super Bowls and took us to 3, right? Because Mr. Lurie got out of the way and said, "Howie, this is your show," right?
Yeah.
And you have to do that. You can't be owner and GM, bro. It doesn't. Because you're not looking at it. You're not looking at the full picture if you're doing it. If you're wearing both hats.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can't be worried about the output and worried about how you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. You've got to have an owner who's saying, "What do you need to be successful? You tell me what it is. I figure out a way to come up with the money to give you that, and then I back out of the way. And now your only focus is, how do I take what I was given and make it work?" Right? Which is what they do in Kansas City. It's what they do in New England, and it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, those ownership groups stay out of the way, and some of the teams with the worst ownership groups are some of the worst teams. The Bengals, the Browns, the Cowboys, Washington when Gilbert was there.
Yep.
Not Gilbert, Dan Snyder.
Snyder, I knew what you meant.
Yeah. those, and it's like if you can't get out of the way, you got to put football people in a position and then let them do football people things.
Yeah.
And stay out of the way.
Yeah, and when you say, it doesn't mean like they have to played on the NFL level or college level. Like people that know ball.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time, and he's never taken a snap in the NFL.
Yep.
So, but you're right. You got to put people that know ball in those positions and let them do their job.
100%.
You can't micromanage. You have to let them do their job so they can get the most out of what you've provided.
Yep. I agree. Well, we got just a quick update going into tonight's game. Nothing has changed as far as the difference. Mm-hmm. You are 30-12.
Ooh, look at there.
I am 27-15. We both have
got
Kansas City tonight, so nothing there will change. So we will revisit that on Thursday when tune in for this week's picks. That'll be interesting. Do you have anything else before I move on to an interesting question and then some trivia?
No, I don't. So what you got, man?
I will say real quick, just because we are ball knowledge and we cover everything. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, it is Game 3 tonight.
That's right.
Max Scherzer will be toeing the rub for Toronto, and Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers.
So who you got tonight?
Oh, I got the Dodgers.
Got the Dodgers tonight?
I got the Dodgers. Glasnow's been money in the postseason.
Yeah, I have the Dodgers tonight as well. First game at home.
Yeah.
I think that stadium's going to be rocking, and they're going to feed off of it. I think they'll do to Toronto what Toronto did to them in Game 1.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to be a sweep, but with the next 3 games being in L.A., it can end here.
That's what I needed. I needed them. I mean, my ultimate prediction was the Dodgers in 5. I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have swept them, but that's not going to happen. But I think they're going to handle business. I will be surprised although I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and he made a good point that I really hadn't thought about. And the Blue Jays, they don't strike out a lot.
No.
So they're going to put the ball in play. So that's where, they don't have as many boppers on that Blue Jays team as the Dodgers. That being said, they certainly do have guys that can go yard. So if they get the guys on base when those boppers are coming up and those guys can do something with it, Springer's obviously huge, Guerrero, they got a few of them, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm old school baseball. Like good pitching beats good hitting every time.
No, I understand that.
So I think Glasnow's, I fully expect him to come in there and throw a good one. So we'll see.
I'm with you. I got the Dodgers in 6. I think they'll take one of these games in LA. And the Dodgers will close it out in 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers go ahead and sweep them out the door. Gentleman sweep. But it's turned into a good series. Both games were good. Friday night and Saturday night. So I'm hoping that tonight be just as good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will be. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, all right. You got anything?
Nah, let's get this trivia, man.
Well, I got a question before we get to the trivia.
Okay.
And this one was on, I saw it this weekend. I think Barstool Sports
Okay. Shout
had
out
it.
Barstool.
And I thought it was a good question.
Okay.
So the question is, what is the biggest what if in sports? And by that I mean, just like, what if Jordan misses the shot over?
That wouldn't be a what if though, because that no.
Well, yeah, I know. Using Jordan is a terrible analogy.
Yeah. Don't. We don't do that on this show.
What if? what if Ray Allen doesn't bail out the Heat? With, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but to you, what would be a what if?
I don't know if this is the biggest what if, but a big what if is if the NBA didn't rescind the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers. If Chris Paul goes to the Lakers and teams up with Kobe and Pau Gasol, that might be one of the greatest dynasties of all time.
Yeah. So
I always wondered that. What if that happened? And what if the Patriots actually beat the Giants and go 18-0?
Yeah.
Tom Brady is already considered a GOAT.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't even be a conversation.
No. Yeah. If he had a perfect.
Yeah. There's no conversation you could have.
And you know what? That's a great one. I have to bring that one up to my nephews, them being Patriots fans and all. That's a good one. I feel like, to me, a big one is, what if the just totally lost it out of my brain. Who was the wow, give me 1 second. Man, am I getting old?
Yeah, we both are, but it's okay.
It's coming. So I'm looking at the 98 NFL draft.
Okay.
Does that one stick out at all for you?
98 wasn't what's the running back for the Colts? Wasn't he in that draft? Or am I thinking of 99?
98 was the year of Peyton Manning, Randy Moss,
Charles
Woodson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking, and I always think, like, what if Indianapolis drafts Ryan Leaf number 1 instead of Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning goes to the Chargers?
Yeah.
You know, just because I think that's a whole legacy. Like, think of everything that happened in Indianapolis during Peyton Manning's time there.
You know, it's so funny. Peyton Manning goes to the Colts and Ryan Leaf goes to the Chargers. Eli comes out a few years later and says, I'm not going to the Chargers.
Right.
He goes to the Giants. Phillip Rivers goes to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that draft worked out for both teams. I mean,
yeah.
Well, it worked out better for the Giants because they got 2 Super Bowls out of Eli.
Yeah.
But the Mannings want nothing to do with the Chargers, bro. Like, what's going on?
I don't think they want to be on that West Coast, but
yeah, man,
it's wild to me because, I mean, you're looking at those two guys, and one threw for a grand total of 3,666 yards in the NFL.
And his career.
And the other one threw for almost 72,000.
That's crazy.
So it's just wild to me how...
Now that you say that, what if, I believe Ryan Leaf's downfall would have happened a lot faster. And here's why. Peyton Manning's first year, dude, do you know how many times he was sacked? Yeah. I think they won, 1 or 2 games his rookie year?
Yeah, they were not good.
Yeah, so the number of interceptions he threw and the number of times he was sacked, I believe Ryan Leaf's downfall would have happened a whole lot sooner than it would have when he was with the Chargers, because that Colts team was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I look at the like, to me, I think it's drafts is like the number, only because I don't think any other sport, you know, basketball's close, but no other sport is affected more by their draft than the NFL.
I can agree with that.
Right? Because one, with basketball, you've got European players and you know what I mean? So it's like,
well, I mean, it can if you draft the wrong person.
For sure.
Because you look at not last year with Cooper Flag, but the year before, who were the first 2 draft picks?
What? 24?
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you.
Exactly. That's how bad they were.
Yeah.
It was the 2 French guys. One went to Atlanta, the other one went to Washington. But they played so bad that you don't even know who they are, but you know Bronny went 55.
Right.
You know? So.
But that makes, so like, I'm looking at the 99 draft.
Okay.
Cleveland, Philadelphia, Cincinnati.
Okay.
Those were the top. Those were the top 3 picks.
Who did they take?
2 of those quarterback. They all took a quarterback.
Okay.
2 of those quarterbacks were trash.
Okay.
And one of them was pretty damn good.
Donovan McNabb.
That's the one.
Oh, I know, baby.
But it was the second pick.
Yeah.
Tim Couch went 1.
Yep. He went number 1 to Cleveland.
And I just wonder sometimes, would it have affected the player, or would it turn the tide for the team?
I think anybody going to the Jets or the Browns is going to affect the player.
Yeah,
but I believe Donovan McNabb entered a great era in Philly because he was a dual threat quarterback.
Right, but don't you think he would have done well anyway?
No.
No?
No.
Especially as a dual threat?
No, not in Cleveland. I mean, think about the jacket you just said the guy wore. Tim Couch is on that list.
Or I look at some of these, like Brian Urlacher going 9th.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's a Hall of Famer.
Who went before him?
Courtney Brown,
mm-hmm.
another Browns pick. LeVar Arrington.
Stud.
Chris Samuels.
Okay.
Because Washington that year had picks 2 and 3.
Okay.
Peter Warwick went to Cincinnati.
My gosh.
Jamal Lewis went to Baltimore. That was at the time, that was a pretty decent pick.
That was a great pick.
Corey Simon to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Jones to Arizona. Plexico Burris to the Giants. Or no, went to Pittsburgh. And
he
then
went to Pittsburgh and got traded to the Giants. Yep.
And then Urlacher was 9.
Wow. I didn't realize Plexico was that early or that far back. I thought he was a little sooner, but makes sense. Because he had that tenure in Pittsburgh, then he went to the Giants.
Yeah, I was never a Plexico Burris fan.
No, when you shoot yourself, I can't be a fan, man.
I probably had more to do with him being a Michigan State Spartan, but gun-toting in public was also...
Yeah, especially if you don't know what to
or
do.
I should say gun-toting is one thing. Firing it in certain places doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, not at all.
But yeah, so anyway, I thought that was interesting. But there's a bunch, I could go through those for days because I look at them. I mean, LaDainian Tomlinson, dude, there were 4 guys drafted before him.
4 running backs?
No.
Oh, so yeah, because he went 5th in the draft. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, but you can find that in every draft, though, man.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
It's wild to me. I mean, and LT and Richard Seymour went 5 and 6 in that draft. Now they were the first running back, and oh no, Justin Smith. Justin Smith was the first defensive end taken.
Who?
Yeah, he played for Cincinnati.
Exactly.
I shouldn't know who he is, but he had a pretty long career. But yeah, Mike Vick was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's the 2000 draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2001.
2001, because Vic had just came off of that national championship game against Florida State that they lost in, January 2000 was the 99 season, but January 2000. Peter Warwick and Ward Dunn are 2 of my favorite college players of all time, and they went to Florida State. So,
how about this one? How about Ed Reed, 24th? I can't name 23 guys in the NFL that are better than him in the history of the league. But there apparently were 23 better ones in 2002. I got to get off that.
And then with the draft, it always what the team needs. Right?
For sure.
Like
this
but past year, they was like, 32 teams passed on Shedeur. Well, 32 teams didn't need a quarterback.
Yeah.
So 32 teams didn't pass on him. So
right.
But you have that in every draft.
That's right.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right, you ready?
It plays out on the field anyway, so
for sure.
Yeah.
You ready for this trivia?
Let's see what I got.
So this one is relative because we've had so many coaches getting canned.
Okay.
So the first part is the team that has had the most coaches.
The team that has had the most coaches.
That's not your question.
Okay.
The team that has had the most coaches is Purdue. They have had 37 different coaches in their time. Now, they've also been playing ball since 1892.
Okay, that has something to do with
it. That's part of the reason. My question to you is, what team, and I say this, I'm just to give it some, I'm talking not teams that have, like UTSA hasn't been playing ball that long.
Mm-hmm.
UCF has only been playing ball for 30 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
But what big, and I'm going to say they're a big name team. They have won a national title. What team has had the fewest coaches in their time?
Okay, how many questions do I get?
I give you 3.
Give me 3. What conference are they in?
The ACC.
The ACC, I was not expecting that. Okay. ACC, huh?
I was not expecting that to be your first question.
Virginia Tech.
No.
Damn it. Dang it. I thought I had that one.
I can't believe you didn't use your 3 questions.
I know. I felt confident, man.
Dang.
Who was it?
Florida State.
I should have known that one. Golly.
Florida State through 70, and I don't remember exactly what year this
Bobby
was.
Bowden was there like 30 years.
34.
Man.
So, yeah, they have had
funny
10
State,
head coaches.
Yeah, funny Florida State story. So coming out of high school, right, I wanted to play football at Florida State, okay?
Yeah.
Didn't happen. But I was like, well, when I get out the Army, I'll go run track at Florida State, right? And I was like, I can run the – I wasn't a Usain Bolt 100-meter sprinter, but I could compete in the 200, compete in the 400. And I was like, well, maybe I'll try it out. Yeah, just to say, though, there's levels to to track. There's levels. Yeah, nah, they got it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, wasn't. It didn't end well.
Yeah.
And I was pretty fast, and I had good stamina and everything. Yeah, but there's levels to that.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. We don't want to bring up bad memories, but there's levels to that.
Yeah, I've known a few. My buddy back in Ohio, he was a track. He's actually in the Hall of Fame, but in our high school. But I know there was a couple times I've been around track people when they were like practicing, and when the sprinters, like when they go by you,
yeah, you feel
like it's amazing how fast a human being like can move.
No, seriously.
Like it really is. It's something. And you can always tell too, those people that are like and even when you're like, if you're watching a football game, right, or a baseball game, like you can just tell, like they're like, damn, they're fast. Like they move, like their legs, and they don't look like their legs are going necessarily that fast, but it's something.
They make fast people look not fast. I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and that's crazy. But oh man, great show, guys. Hope
Yes,
you
it was.
enjoyed the show. If you love the content, please like, comment, subscribe. That's my man Jason. I'm your boy Kareem, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Laters.